All right, it's Friday night. Welcome, Cop Talk Live, changing cop culture. I'm Dominic Izzo. This is Cop Talk Live, and it's Friday, so we're going to patrol the internet. We're on patrol for, I don't even know what anymore, but welcome. If you're new, subscribe, join, comment, call. We do all those things. I'm a former ex-retired, pretty much disgusted former police officer from up here in the state of Illinois. The northwest suburbs of Chicago is where I was at, and I can't believe the amount of garbage, just abhorrent. I don't know what this state of police. I think my generation of cops is the last. I was part of the last true generation of police officers who were able to do the job and not this embarrassment of children we have in the streets today. Before I get into the gripe, this is a pro-cop channel. Now, I'll qualify that. It's pro-law enforcement. I don't back the blue. The blue has a lot of problems they need to work out. I don't arbitrarily back the blue, fly a flag on my car and all that shit. I demand that they raise their standards like what we said in the academy. We hold ourselves to a higher standard. We'll prove it, because I don't see it happening lately. So I'm at this point of show me the best version of yourself. And if I'm going to give you that tough love and that negative reinforcement where I say you suck and you go, fuck Izzo, I'm going to prove him wrong, then that's all worth it. Housekeeping first. We're live every Friday night, 7 p.m. Central. That's 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific. Phones do open eventually during this. Copville OG, do me a favor. I don't like what no. Copville OG needs to be chasing me neck and neck with numbers right now. And if you support what I'm doing, you need to support Mike, host of Copville OG. So go over Copville OG over on YouTube. And check a look at his content and check it out over there. You can sponsor us and support us, keep us independent. I have had several companies say, "Hey, would you like to have us? You know, we'll give you money." Trust me, I love money. I'm a capitalist, but I want to see how long I can keep this going independent, and that's completely on your sharing the videos so that we can generate income through YouTube. And if you want to donate and support directly, there's many ways you can do it. You can buy my book, Before the Badge, Everything You Need to Know Before You Become a Cop. It's available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon through wordsmatterpublishing.com. My publisher has been on my ass for 6 months now to finish number 2. I've gotten 5 chapters down. That's it. I really got to get to work. You can buy me a coffee, and you can do many other things like join our Patreon. I want to get to Lackluster later on today. I have to wonder if Lackluster is being criminally investigated. But before that, I came across something today, and we got to talk about this. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I shit all over female cops all the time. And the specific reason is, you know, I'm not a fan of the danger that they bring to the job. And part of the there's a couple different folds in it. Number one, in my day, I worked with a few good ones, really good ones, that I would go to war any day of the week and twice on Sunday. But I also worked with several of them that were just, they were the worst human beings on the planet. They had short man's disease more than I could ever have it, and they were horrible people. And yeah, sex was a very common thing amongst cops, especially when you put females in there. You did have sergeants who were sleeping with patrol officers and, you know, swingers and all this shit. And that, what you do off duty is different, but don't let it affect your job. And it did affect some people's jobs, and it just is what it does. You had nepotism in the form of, we're hiring somebody because she's, you know, so-and-so side piece, and that turned into shit as well, too. The biggest problem with females is when they come on the job, they're looking to get fucked or fucked over. You know, you always have a female who comes in, and the next thing you know, everybody wants to mentor her. Everybody wants to show them how great they are, and they have a really hard job. And the problem I have with females is that generation that I came from is done. The generation now is a bunch of females who come on and, you know, they're looking to get a badge to sell their hair care product, talk about their favorite emotional issues on duty. They're looking to leverage the uniform for social media. And the real ones who are doing the job, well, they're stuck in between the faux social media cops who are just making it worse for everybody and themselves, and the pressures of the internal politics that goes on bad. I came across a female today, and I reached out to her. Hopefully we're going to do a podcast She's a Miss like a Miss America or Miss State, a beauty pageant contest winner, and she's intelligent, and she's going through something with her department. And I'm like, well, it's what you get for being a good-looking broad doing on this. And then I looked at what her claims were, and I'm like, I believe every word she's saying. Every word she's saying. So I got to get her on because it's almost sucks. And if you're a woman and you look like me, you're not going to have a problem on the job. But if you're an attractive female, you're fucked. And it's really shitty. So I go that route. And then I came across this because I do give men a hard time, but not in the way that they should. You got the dancing moron who's out in Wyoming, who does ballroom dancing in his police department, and has got like 750,000 followers on TikTok, who don't realize that this dolt who is doing some salsa merengue shit all over Instagram and TikTok while he's in the PD, and you're I don't know, you call 911 because somebody's bleeding out in your home from something. He's gonna be like, ooh, I got. All right, hang on. I'll get the call in a minute. I got to finish this pirouette move here before I wind up going. You got the other idiots who they're all over. They're just all over. But physicality, I saw this today. The child on the left here, the skinny one, and there an Alaska police department put up a video of a cop not too long ago. The guy had to be about 6'2", maybe 130 pounds. And I said the command presence is a real thing, that this guy doesn't have it. And, I tell the story. Part of the reason that I wanted to become a cop was there was a specific cop that I saw on a scene that I went, it just moved me. I used to work at a 4 a.m. bar. We had fights all the time. Cook County Sheriff's Police were the responding officers. We had brawls, and we had a great relationship with Cook County, where I was a bartender, but when a fight broke out, we all jumped in. The melee went out of the parking lot, and the next thing you know, Cook County showed up, and they hauled off who we said. It was an abuse of public relations, but we loved every second of it. We had a fight one night. This was right around 98, 99, right when like Limp Bizkit was getting big and Kid Rock. And we started to have those stupid mosh pits on the dance floor, and it was causing problems. And after like 3 of them in the row, it was maybe 300 people in the bar, 400 people. It's not much for a club. And the owner was so sick of this shit. He gets done. He turns the lights on. He goes, fuck it. And it's only 2 a.m. We got 2 more hours to go. He kills the lights, or turns the lights on, kills the music, and calls county because we have a brawl inside that's out of control. Well, county shows up. And this sergeant I had never seen before showed up. Now, the guy could have only been 5'8". Why, I don't know. But I know that every other county guy, for the most part, really didn't take care of themselves. They wore the brown uniforms, and I know that they're disrespected by being called brown clowns. And a lot of them smoked, were out of shape, disheveled uniforms, wrinkled, this and that. County, there was just really no accountability for him. This guy walked through the fucking door. And he was not very big, but to me, he was like 6'12". I'm like, what the fuck? He walks in, posture was just completely just a straight column, head through the spine, ass to feet, was like insane. He was wearing his gun belt, clearly. Everything was polished. He was wearing one of those winter sweaters on. The badge was on it, nameplate, and he had a hat on. The fucking hat. We never saw anybody wear a hat. And he had the typical cop mustache. This man walked in with such command presence, everything fucking stopped. And it was partly because we never saw him before. So we're like, oh, we're not going to get away with shit with this guy because he doesn't know, how we work. And maybe they brought him in because there was too much fucking around from county. But that impressed me so much that it was like the parting of the Red Sea. That man, everyone took him seriously. And yeah, I was 24, 25 at the time, and I went, I want that. I want that respect that he just completely commanded on scene. I was extremely impressed about it, and it just sucked the fight out of everybody. These kids don't have it. They don't have it today. And I talked about today, because I did a video on this, where there was a height requirement up until like the 90s for being a police officer. And if that was never removed, I wouldn't have been a cop. I'm only 5'7". So it's like I knew that going on there with my first department, I worked with Marines who were 6'2", 5'10" and above. And how did I stand out above them? I had to be taken seriously. I had to look the part, had to tailor my uniform, keep it ironed and clean, shine my boots, make sure that my dialogue was good, I was respectful, yet authoritative. It was a lot you had to do to bring command presence. But it's the first level of force on any scene. You show up and you're hoping that exactly what happened with that cop that I had seen happens on calls. We don't have that today. This kid on the left is from Calumet, not Calumet City by Chicago, Calumet County in Wisconsin. And several people tagged me in the photo today on their Facebook. And it's Officer so-and-so's first name starts with a J, Head, or Deputy Head. And Calumet County is congratulating Deputy Head for passing FTO, which means he's out in the street by himself now. And, he's going to bring positivity to the county. And I saw thousands of comments. Of course, the comments were then turned off, so I couldn't add in comments on it, of mockery, insane mockery, and rightfully so. My question to Calumet County, who has since deleted this photo. I mean, if they're proud of their officers, why not leave it and stand by what you say? They were so mocked for their hiring decision that they deleted their photo. The photo on the right of this fat slob I've talked about before. This is a police officer from Middletown, Indiana. And apparently he gets through the whole fitness standard by being a reserve. So he gets just the right amount of hours where he doesn't have to be full-time, so he's not held to the requirements of fitness standards. My question is this. Command presence is a real thing, and I'm wondering. Now, I'm very curious to hear what you think. You can comment, you can call in. Do you think this is a design plan? What I mean by that is, if we have the 30 by 30 agenda coming forward, which means that the powers that be want 30% of the police force to be women by the year 2030, my question is, will that change the perception of Graham v. Connor and objectively reasonableness, which is the standard of what use of force is? Now, what I mean by that is here, I'll explain this to you. I am 5'7". I'm 50 years old. If you ever follow my content, I'm a former competitive wrestler. I'm a wrestling coach, martial arts expert, martial arts teacher. If you just saw on Instagram, I put up the other day, I bench pressed 300 pounds, felt like fucking nothing. I've been in combatives and fighting and all that shit forever. I can take care of myself. You are better off being shot by me than going hands-on, because I don't train with my firearm, and I'm an abysmal shot. With that being said, if I show up on a scene and there's an out-of-control subject, whatever, and it's a man who's 5'10", 200 pounds, and I go right to my pistol, and the guy's just swinging. He's just swinging. I'm not going to jail. Fuck you. And blah, blah. He's drunk. And I go, oh, screw this. I go right to my pistol, and I empty. I do a mag dump him, and I say, I was in terror. I was in fear for my safety. My perception is I was in great fear for my safety, so I chose to use force that would terminate life-threatening behavior. Would you accept that? Now, many of you will, and I'll explain why. Because we've been putting cops like this up on the street. If we put a female cop in that same scenario, or this skinny one, or even this fat one who will lose cardiovascular ability when he takes 3 steps to get out of the squad car, you will 100% say, yes, they should go to the pistol because none of them can win a fight against that person. You should be condemning me to hell by going, you went to your pistol? The problem is that the 30 by 30 agenda is going to change the standard for objectively reasonable simply by math. If you take 100 police officers, and they're all males, very capable, every one of them can do the job, take somebody to custody by themselves, they're strong, they're athletic, they know the law, all this, and you replace, and the standard for being objectively reasonable is if I'm the one of the 100 who goes out and shoots somebody in the scenario I said, the other 99, most of them will say it's not objectively reasonable that all of us wouldn't have gone hands on. The fact that you went to shoot that person, no, that doesn't meet the standard, because collectively, out of the 100 of us, it's an objectively reasonableness standard that we would have used force less than that. Well, what happens when you overflow the cup and get rid of some of the water and then replace it with, I don't know, oil, another clearly distinctible, a separate liquid? 30% now becomes females. Well, you get rid of 70 of your officers, you replace them with 30 females. Now, maybe 70%. So what would that be? 60 officers before would have said, yeah, no, we don't agree with you with the shooting. But now you have more females, and their perception is, yes, I couldn't have taken him into custody, 100%. It's a greater possibility now that I can shoot somebody and kill them and avoid going into a fight. Now you replace me, you force me out, right? And you force out a bunch of other officers by doing something stupid like enforcing lockdowns that get rid of all the really good cops out there who are like, I'm not following these unconstitutional orders and all this shit. And you make things a little bit more political. And then you get the media to nonstop crucify cops, and departments never have their back, and departments are always worried about liability. So all the guys who have 20 years on who should have stayed to 30 years on because they're still in their 50s and they've got common sense, they're all gone. So now you replace them with kids who weigh 120 pounds and fat pigs who weigh 420 pounds and females. This is your standard core of police. Females who can't fight, who are genetically, biologically, physiologically weaker than males, males who a stiff breeze can blow them over, or males that their own walking is going to give them a heart attack. They're going to lose the fight, and they're going to quickly escalate to deadly force because we've allowed this. So my point being is, I think this was a plan done on purpose, that the powers that be are going, we got to get rid of all the cops who have fucking common sense and have brains in their heads, and we need to replace them with people who cannot do the job, so that when they do the job and they do it with force, it shows that, no, we don't have bad cops. We have a crime problem. We have criminals out of control on the street, because that's what it looks like. The more that you have these women who can't fight or guys who can't take somebody in control, it looks worse. So the public starts seeing through social media, oh, crime is rising. No. I mean, it is in massive Democrat cities with state attorneys who refuse to do their job, and recidivism is up the ass. But you now have bad visuals. Oh, yeah, we have to shoot that guy because that cop couldn't take him into control. Aurora, Colorado's had two shootings of unarmed men this last year. One black guy, cop pulls his gun. It looks like a traffic accident or a stop. Goes to punch him in the back of the head. The guy turns, squares up. Cop shoots him. Shoots and kills him. Pussy cop. He should be 100% criminally prosecuted. It makes no sense why he didn't go hands-on. Then you got another male cop who's in this massive wide open field at an airport. The subject he was dealing with had to be about 19, 20. And he was just fucking around. He was high. He was on something. He wasn't causing the cop any bodily harm, but the cop couldn't take him into custody. So what does the cop do? Shoot and kills him. Nothing. Mustang police. Black female. She cannot take a man on the side of the road who's having a manic mental health episode with his cousin pleading for her help into custody. What does she do? She goes to tase him. And when the taser doesn't work, what does she do? She shoots and kills him. Because she couldn't identify what was in his hands. It was a pair of gloves in his hands. Police chief praises her. Police chief praised her for her performance. So the more that we have departments that are hiring this type of quality of cop and putting them on the streets, the more you, the American public, are in the worst danger you can ever friggin' imagine. It's insane. Over in the chat, April Schoen, how are you? Cushy Monster, this has already been happening. You have covered videos showcasing this perfectly. We've got to keep talking about it. Have to keep talking about it. Mr. Billfold, departments are not smart enough to intentionally hire weaklings, women, and cowards to necessitate use of force. It's just a byproduct of the toxic, corrupt LEO culture and low police standards. Here's where my argument is aligned with yours, because who do you think is brass now? Brass had always been the ones who couldn't do the job. And the problem is when you couldn't do the job, then you hired people who were just like you, because brass loves control. So I have a feeling that you're right on this. And I think what's happening is that you just have poor command stepping in and making these decisions, and they don't know why. I think someone's pulling their strings. Yeah, you're live. What's going on?
Hey, Dom, it's Eric. How you doing?
Good, bud. What's going on?
I'm good. Well, another Friday night watching my favorite show, Cop Talk Live, with you.
Thank you, dude.
All right. So here, I'm going to throw something into it, and we're talking about standards and hiring, right? And I've seen this across the nation, and it's like an epidemic with the standards being lowered and stuff like that. But I want to throw a little dynamic into this. I've actually checked into this. Where you have government agencies, county governments, whatever you want to call them, they set the standards, right? They go for they set the hiring standards, and they go on. And all of a sudden, it comes the police union, the bargaining agent, and they start bargaining back and forth. Well, we don't want the police officers to do that. No, we don't want the police officer to go back to the police academy for retraining 4 times a year. Well, we don't want that. I've actually seen that.
Yeah.
So I think we throw. Yeah, I think we throw another dynamic into it where the unions come in.
Unions are the worst. Unions are the worst. I was my first department. I watched the haggling over. Like, the unions did nothing for us. I was a member of the union, and I watched our arbitration, trying to get a raises, and the department was fighting us because they didn't want to give us a uniform allowance. Was every year, and they were like, well, and the department wanted to dictate what we bought with our uniform allowance. Like, we don't think you should own the same pair of boots, or everybody gets a pocket knife. It was stupid. By the time that I got to my last department, I was anti-union. And it was very foolish on my end. I thought the more that I was a good old boy and played ball with the command staff, I was fine. Ultimately, I became union president because the former union president, who incidentally became a very close friend of mine, they wanted him out. Like, they wanted to get him out of the police department. So I thought, all right, I'm going to kiss ass. I'll run for union president. I became union president and then saw really how shitty the department was. But the unions did fuck all for us. Nothing. The union, like, trying to get grievances, and even like when I went through, you pay your dues for what? Unions are the biggest bullshit on the planet. So yeah, I don't know.
I agree with you, Dom. They definitely throw a ratchet into a lot of things, and I look at this picture of this kid, and then somebody in that police department must have some sort of smart and say, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we hiring this individual? But you know what? We live in this age. We lived in the age of DEI, which is hopefully ending, but we still live in that. And you can't deny this poor kid a job because you're discriminating against him, or you're doing this and you're doing that. Then the union step in. That's why I want to throw it in.
I don't understand that, because you know what? It's not like it's Starbucks. Are cops dealing with people's lives? It's like, yes. You should it should be flat out going, I can goddamn well discriminate who I want, because at the end of the day, that person is going to have a gun, and that person is going to make the decision on their own to use that gun on you or not. The fact that they aren't discriminating enough is a problem. Female cops is an example. These 2 cops are an example. If this deputy head, shows up to some woman, your wife is home alone with your 2 kids, you're out on business, here's a crash downstairs, and this kid shows up, is she going to feel, it's like, what? Where's the rest of you? If a female officer shows up, where's the rest of you? You 100% should absolutely be discriminating, period. I'm even going this route. I am not a fan. I've been very vocal. The hip hop culture that comes from within the black community, that ghetto trash thuggery behavior has no place in law enforcement. How do we know they're not infiltrating and feeding shit back to their criminal friends? It's all over. It's all over.
I've seen that. I've seen that, Dom. I've seen that. I've seen it with officers, right, that's gotten on, who came from housing projects, more low income, if you want to be politically correct, but the ghettos. And they came in and you looked at them and you're like, they look like perps. And you were like wondering. Yeah,
I want people like that to a degree because they're going to understand the community better, and not to mention the fact they're not going to be a cop that everything looks like a nail. They're not the hard ass. They've lived life. They've gotten shit. But I want a cop who could speak English. Speak English. I don't want a cop who's going to be sucking his teeth. Yeah, I'm finna go out in. What did you fucking say? So yeah, I can't stand that culture. I can't stand there's so much. There needs to be more discrimination in law enforcement because these people ultimately make the decisions with arresting you too. They're taking you off to jail based on their perception of something you broke. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck unions do anymore other than take your money and string you out to dry when you need them.
No, you know what, Don, but you said it correctly. What do they do anymore? Then other than you always throw, a ratchet into stuff. They're not, I don't really believe that police unions are any helpful to helping improve police culture, improve community relations. They're not any helpful. A cop shoots a person, right? It's unjustifiable. It's on video. And what the union does? Totally defend them. Oh, we got to defend them. We have to. You know why? Because they pay dues for that. That's it. I have not yet, to this day, after 25 years, I have not seen a union step up and say, you know what? We're not going to support this cop. We're not going to we don't support it. We're not going to back them. We don't give a shit. But you know what? As long as the money's flowing in, Dom, and the membership dues are getting paid.
That's why. That's why they should carry their own insurance and their own lawyer. They should have their own lawyer retainer. You shouldn't have one group that simply acts like a defense attorney for cops, because there are shit cops out there. But I appreciate your call, man. I agree with that.
Dom, thank you so much, my brother. Talk to you soon.
Appreciate that. All right, 708-982-0974, 708-982-0974. I did miss some of you guys. Got to call you back.
Simply acts like hello.
Hey, you got to lower that background because we're live.
Got you.
I appreciate your call, man.
Oh, what's going on? Sorry, I missed your call.
Oh, how's it going, Dom? How's it going, chat?
Good.
Yeah, I had an idea about what you said earlier about are they doing it intentionally? And I typed something saying I didn't agree with that, but now I think that it might be.
I don't know. I mean, it's stranger shit has happened. Because when you look at it, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's the only thing that fits. You have to ask yourself. You're a cop. You're a former cop, so you have to ask yourself what question would make the most sense. And very, very few other theories would fit this, culture that we see going on now with weaker cops out here on TikTok playing, doo-doo head games, twerking and dancing. And you'd have to ask yourself, well, normally I would think that this is something that would be looked down on.
I had some female
looked down on.
I had a female cop from Houston, and she lip syncs some line of a rap song. And it was only like 5 seconds.
What do you think my boys are going to do when they show up?
Right, and that's
like
what
that,
it was. Yeah. So I sat there, and her line was exactly what you said. It's the caption, for those who didn't see, she puts a caption over her video addressing how when people say, "Oh, you're too small to be a cop," and she says, like the line has something akin to, "Well, wait till you see when my team shows up," and in the comments section of the video where somebody sat there and talked about the struggle is real of a female cop, she commented, "Dispatch, I've got one at gunpoint," mocking, acknowledging that you can't do the fucking job, so you're going to go right to your gun. And when she saw that I wound up posting her video, she was in the comment section. "Thanks for posting me. Thanks for sharing me." It's like, you don't get. It's
all a joke to her.
Exactly.
The job is a joke. Our rights are a joke, and the responsibility that law enforcement have is a joke to most of these cops. I know a lot of the people in the chat, know me, and we pretty much agree about a lot of this stuff. Maybe we don't agree on, how it's going to be fixed, but we see this as a problem. There's no common sense in this. I was a Marine long time ago, and we had some severe standards, and they were not, maybe now they let things go, but back then you had to be able to cut it. We had height, weight issues that, of course, people have to get waivers. But I saw plenty of Marines who were, knee high to a duck, who could pound you into the ground all day long. So at least they were keeping up. But now it seems like they give the badge. These guys don't even know the First Amendment or the Fourth Amendment, but they have their direct deposit slips pulled out and monopoly of force. And I think that's why we're getting this. It's always been about, are you willing to take this job and follow along blindly? And all the good cops I've ever known in my life, especially some of my former Marine buddies who joined the law enforcement afterwards, they left it because there was no integrity in it. They were like, well, I did not sign and swear an oath to the Constitution to then sit here and play these backroom games with people.
It does suck because they leave.
The people.
It does suck because they leave. They don't stay and fight. And I know I get it, and I get pissed off about it. The amount of people who are in my DMs every day. Hey, this is what's going on in my department. Hey, you need to look in. This is my department, but don't say anything. And I'm like, why the fuck aren't you saying anything? It's like I understand it, but at the same time, I don't. I lost everything. I lost everything exposing the shit that my fucking brothers in blue were bitching about for years. And I get it. The risk is you're going to wind up potentially like me. Again, you're ousted from the profession. I'm
going to tell you something, Dom. That worked out really great for you because, there's a lot of, in my life, that's happened as well, where just standing up and people aren't going to like it and you're going to be let go and looked down on and made to be on the outs. But, you are one of the few who at least you didn't take it and say, you know what, screw this. I can go do something else. I can teach jujitsu. You're standing in here catching a lot of crap from a lot of Leos. We all see it. I think that's one of the reasons why we gravitate toward the channel, because at least we see somebody who's just not scared. And most of us aren't scared, but we're not LEOs. You were in the culture and you saw it firsthand. So it's, no matter what we say, us civilians, about it, it means a lot more when the police are the ones who are calling it out. Unfortunately, that number is super small.
That's why you got to follow Mike from Copville OG, because he does the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah. And a bunch of the guys in the chat now, we're all two cops, one donut bumpers over here. That's our big thing. And we, Matt Thornton and you and Copville OG, y'all are the people that really kind of promulgate this.
I don't want to talk about Matt's business, but Matt and I never met, and we worked like 15, 20 minutes apart from each other. We never met. But I was talking to him months ago, and I'll say it. He's like, he was getting shit from his department. Like, guys who you think would support him were shitting on him because he's speaking out against bad cops. And next thing you know, it's like he's getting like disciplined for this and for that and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're making enemies because you're not good old boy right now. And him, yeah. I think he's retiring this year.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Which blows me the fuck away. Him and Tommy Norman.
Tommy Norman just got ousted from a domestic issue. I'm choosing to support him until I hear otherwise. But now that he's out, and if Thornton is out, someone in America had better get their heads screwed on straight. Some mayor in America had better get on straight. And each one of those men should be chief of a department. They should be running a fucking department in this nation.
Well, unfortunately, and I'll let you go because I know a lot of people are probably trying to get on this, but Southern Draw Law, like I was saying, he just put out a video saying that he's finishing his 5 cases and he's done because the system cannot be fixed from the inside. He's seen too much going on. There's too much corruption. So honestly, somebody like Matt or Tommy, as you said, would they be great in some other leadership position? Abso-freaking-lutely. But would they have as much impact there as they would on social media? I don't know. Because
I don't know.
Honestly, because what you're doing, I would rather you keep doing this, Dom, than go in here and try and fix some bunch
I'm
of guys
that it is working.
Want to see it.
It is working because I'm going to tell you what, Mike and I talk about this. Mike from Copville, he and I talk about this. So far, I've had 7 cops either resign or be pushed out because of their social media shit. So if I'm one, and I don't give a fuck. They didn't take the job seriously. They resigned. It wasn't for them. One got pushed out. All this. If that's what it takes, and there's me, well, imagine if there's 10 of me. So hopefully more of it will join on.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see as well. I'd like to see those good cops that are leaving the department just use their voices. Don't try to change the system from the inside, because it's like trying to push a rope. See how far you're going to get with that. You need to get on the outside and do what you're doing, because if you got 7 doing that, imagine what a bunch of other, former law enforcement officers who have the balls to actually say what's going on could do.
Yeah, I appreciate the call, man. Thanks.
Thanks, Tom.
All right. Over on the chat, Eldo Don, any comment on the Hanover Park debacle of the non-U.S. citizen as a cop? It's Pritzker signed that into law that you could be a non-citizen, be a cop. If you look at Minnesota, Minneapolis, their chief of police was on a news thing earlier in 2025, bragging about his hires who were undocumented. So I don't know anymore. Hang on, I'm coming to you. Yeah, you're live. I know you've been trying to call in a bunch. I appreciate your patience.
Hey, Dom, how are you doing? It's Nathan. How are you doing?
Nathan, I know, man. I know you were trying to call, dude. But, yeah, what's up? What's going
on? Nothing much. I just wanted to say 2 things. I did share the live stream, like I always do, stuff like that. Also, I do 2 more things. Sorry. Is it like this? Like, I know people say Chicago and Cook County, and same as Lake County and DuPage. Is it like does the Chicago crimes bleed into those other counties?
100%. That's why where I worked, everyone's like, you worked in a suburb. Where do you think the shit went? Yeah, Chicago's garbage they chased out, and Milwaukee's came to Lake County, Illinois. So, like, Matt Thornton worked at a small town. He was fucking humping every day of the week. Zion, North Chicago, Waukegan, Round Lake area, Grays Lake. Absolutely all of us were busy. It makes me fucking laugh. It was a little bit of a pride. When I was working at the bar I talked about earlier, I had a lot of Schaumburg cops come in, Rolling Meadows cops, Hoffman cops, and that was where I grew up around. And when I went to work, I went to Round Lake Beach, and everybody in the academy is making fun of us because we're going to be lifeguards at the beach. And it was nice. I disappeared for 6 months, come back to the bar, walked in, and I see a bunch of cops I know, and they're like, hey, what department did you go to? I go, Round Lake Beach. And they all went, whoop, because they knew. Yeah, my cuffs are on somebody every day, and their cuffs are on somebody maybe once a month. So, I mean, it's all that garbage that moved out, they moved out to the other areas. So 100%.
Excuse me. Because like you said, it bleeds into other counties and it affects Milwaukee, and it just, I mean, like you said, it's like it's like a cat and mouse game,
Yep, it is.
Like what Jerry Worm said, it's like a cat and mouse game.
Yeah, Jerry Worms is old school. Jerry Worms, common sense kind of like started to dwindle off from that era, and then it left in mine. So yeah, I feel bad for Jerry, because when he watches shit, it's probably like a mind blown to him because how stupid people are. But Nathan, I appreciate the call, man.
Yeah. Also, before I go, I want everybody to do this in the chat too. So everybody go subscribe to Cop Talk Live. I mean, Dominic, you do a damn fucking good job by making the show great every fucking Friday night. I want to commend you on that. Every time you go live, it's, I love watching your stream. Keep doing what you're fucking doing. Your live stream's fucking awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Be here all week. Try the veal. Nathan, I appreciate you, man.
You're welcome, and everybody, have a great night.
All right, Nathan. Thanks, man. All right. Appreciate you guys, too. Let's take another call. I want to get to Lackluster and what's going on there. 404. All right, I'll get to you. All right, hang on. I'm coming. Yeah, you're live. What's going on?
Oh, I didn't know if I would get on or not.
Yeah, you're on, dude. What's
that's
up?
Great.
What do you got?
Okay. All right. I'm a 79-year-old woman. Been around a long time. I'm a tomboy by heart, and I've never liked someone telling me, you can't do that because you're a woman, because I'll do it just to prove that I can. But you also have to know at the same time what your weaknesses are and what your strengths are. And not everybody is meant to be a police officer. I agree with you on the 30-30. There's especially these young women that are showing themselves, portraying like they're some models and all that kind of stuff. It's like you're not taking the job seriously here.
That's where I'm going to agree with you, but also disagree with you at the same time. You're 79, so you're my parent. You're my parents' age, and you guys had you guys had kids and homes and careers at 21 years old, right? 21 years old.
Right.
I think it's there were more successful females back then, because it's not about, if you remove the ability, right? Now we got to go to common sense. I think that more females of your generation had common sense, not what they have today. So that's just a big problem. Like,
I know.
I talk about, like, everybody thinks I'm anti-female cop, and it sounds that way, and I'm anti-specific female cop this generation, but you know that I wouldn't have been a cop if it wasn't for a female cop who changed my life. So it's like, I think it's generational, and I think the kids today are literally some of the dumbest human beings this world has ever seen.
Oh God, I so agree with you. I used to own a bar, and it's like, where is the common sense? There's none. It's gone. I just wanted to have a marker I could write stupid across their forehead all the time.
Yep, it's insane.
But I wanted, I believe being a police officer is an honorable thing. And I wouldn't want to even go down that road, because I see all the ugly that they have to deal with. And it's just sometimes those ones that are few and far between that come in with a level head and want to do the best job they can do, they're out there. But unfortunately, I watched the young man who posted something on Facebook, several years ago, about his disdain for what's happening in his career around him, and ended up losing his job over it. I'd love to see how he's doing now.
Well, if that was during the lockdown?
Oh God, I can't even remember now.
Because the video that went almost viral was Greg.
And he was told to take it down.
Greg Anderson. So that's Greg Anderson. He was on Washington. He was in Washington State, and I believe he was in Washington State. And Greg was completely disgusted what was going on with the lockdowns. Yeah, he's doing fantastic now. He's actually probably 10 times better than he was when he was a cop. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I really am, because I thought, man, I was so proud of him for standing up, because not enough people do. Yeah. They don't stand up and say, look, I don't want to be a part of this, and this is what's going to happen. But unfortunately, you're only as good as your boss is, but your boss is only as good as the people he's got underneath him.
It's 100%. Some of the bosses are the biggest shitheads on the planet. I appreciate your insight.
Yeah, I've had those kind of bosses. But the other thing, what happened to the standards to be a police officer? Can any of these officers go through the training that the firefighters have to do?
No, the firefighters are being lowered. You got these females who are firefighters. The standards have been lowered so bad. I thought it was, there was a city in Texas who posted their physical test requirements online, and like a bunch of us watched it and we're like, is this a joke? It's like mine was, it was stupid. It was archaic. It was antiquated. You had to run a mile and a half. I was 26 at the time. I would run a mile and a half in 13 minutes and 21 seconds. Well, I was never going to run a mile and a half on the job, but at the same time too, I had to do it. I hated it. I hated it. You had to get like 36 sit-ups, sit and reach of 18 inches, and you had to bench press 98% of your weight. Now, the run is up to like 16 minutes. It's no longer a bench press. It's a certain number of push-ups you got to do. It kind of makes sense to a degree. I would rather see push-ups and pull-ups. How high can you jump? Which I don't understand. And a sit and reach. They've dumbed it down. And again, the standards are different for females and males as well too. So I never knew how that applied, because if you're both going to take the same guy into custody, does his weight and height and weight automatically change because a female comes up on? I don't know. It's
exactly.
No, I appreciate the insight.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, you can.
I used to be a hairdresser, and when I started paying attention to all this kind of stuff, as what was going on, I looked to see how many hours training that officers have to do, and how many hours training a hairdresser has to do. I couldn't believe it.
My sister.
We have to put in way more hours than any officer has to do, and we don't get guns.
No, I went to the academy for a certification, 3 months, Monday through Friday. Got to come home on the weekends, and I got paid. I got paid because I was hired by the department. My sister, out of her own pocket, had to work a job, but she also had to go to the salon to learn to cut hair Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 on her own dime for 11 months for a license that had to be renewed every 2 years. My certification never expired.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's insane.
Exactly.
It's insane.
I had to do that too. Even when I kind of semi-retired, if I wanted to hold that license, I had to go to classes every couple of years until I decided, no, I'm just not going to do this anymore. But it's like, maybe we should come up with some kind of training like the SEALs have to do.
You got people
maybe modified.
They're blocking the practicality of it coming in. Otherwise, you would have and you should have fitness standards every year, and you just
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, when I see some of these around here, the county sheriffs, and the size that some of them are, I'm going, how can you even possibly
like the 400-pound
go
guy
after somebody?
Yes. 400-pound guy played in the beginning of the video. Yes, you're right.
And usually the state police are much more fit.
State police, for the most part, everyone I've seen, they're squared away. They don't fuck around. So you're right. You're right.
Yeah, it's
all
like
right.
I don't know what's happened to the standards for. I just don't know.
There are no standards.
It's upsetting to see this happening to what used to be a very proud profession.
You're right. I appreciate your call, miss.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
It's a Mrs.
Well, thank you, Mrs. I appreciate your support as well, too. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to take one more call because then we got to get on to, Lackluster. And then we'll take more calls when I'm done, but I want to move on for a second. Guys, make sure you share the video, support every way you can. Keep us going. Jared Proctor, welcome. First time catching a live stream, welcome. All right, 404, I tried to give you a call. We'll get back to you. I want to move on because I saw this, and Lackluster put this on, and I was like, what the frick, dude? I'm just going to play the first few minutes of this because it kind of blew me away. For those who don't know, Lackluster really does some phenomenal work. The opening of this I'm just going to play this. We'll talk about this.
Group chat that everybody talks in, or how are you able to communicate?
No one told me to do it. No one hinted like, hey, do that. No.
Do you just follow Lackluster then? You're just a fan of that page? They just post the information in the bottom of the comments, and then they just go and say, call this agency, essentially. Hey, this needs to be rectified now. I know you watched the video. I know Lackluster seems to be very popular on YouTube.
Welcome back. Today, I'd like to go over a couple things. First, I receive a lot of comments like this one. The absence of contact information from some of these YouTubers suggests they might not genuinely care about viewers sharing their videos or holding these tyrants accountable. If they were truly interested, they would share the identifying badge numbers and contact details of the officers and other public officials involved, enabling the public to address their government.
Or you could not be so fucking lazy and do the work yourself. I never knew if you actually, I don't think there's too much of my archived work out there before. When I first got on social media, 2015, 2016, So I was really doing law enforcement content, and there was no way in hell you could convince me there was a problem at all. I drank the blue Kool-Aid like you wouldn't believe. When I started to watch content, like I begrudgingly, I resisted watching Lackluster, Sean Paul Reyes, these people. I'm going, I don't want to, and I'm going, oh my God, there's a legitimate problem. Both of these men have millions of followers and supporters, and you want them to spoon feed everything to you? How about you do some of the work as well? Because if it wasn't for people like Lackluster, Sean Paul Reyes, BZ Walk Dog, I got to give you a shout. I know you text me all the time. I'm sorry I don't return your text as much, but I see the work that you're doing. If it's not for these people, then how do we know these problems exist? And you're depending on them to do all the work. You know, many hands make light work. Just because somebody reaches 1 million people and you reach 5 doesn't make those 5 less important. Do the fucking work.
And no doubt, there's probably some of you that feel the same. But nobody ever seems to post the things that they're whining about. So today, I'll show you why. Just 2 days ago, I published a video about an officer in the town of Lloyd, New York, that slammed a handcuffed man into the asphalt, leaving him in essentially a coma.
He didn't slam him, Lackluster. He assisted him with a technique to the ground. Get it right. That's police lingo.
Multiple days.
This is your right, you know?
Relax.
Shit. But you know what?
Relax. Stop.
No, I'm not.
Get him up. Get him up.
At this point, I've been doing this for 6-7 years, which means there's probably a reason when I do or don't do something. In my short time of doing this, I've seen multiple people get hemmed up in harassment charges. And currently, because of that video, the New York State Police is investigating me and probably trying to build a case.
This kills me. This is a phone call he got. This absolutely kills me.
A viewer who watched that video sent me this recording.
Hi, I'm Investigator Cruz. I work for the state police. I'm actually looking to see if you might be able to assist me with an investigation I have. I got your phone number from the town of Lloyd Police Department. I guess you had called yesterday requesting a callback from either the chief or lieutenant. Is that correct?
Which police department?
The town of Lloyd Police Department?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just calling to try to find out information about where, essentially how this all came about, because it seems like there's a large number of people calling and inundating their.
I always love the passive-aggressive bullshit pussy techniques that cops use to get you to try to speak. If there's a motto that should be my life's work being passed on to you, it's that fish only get caught when they open their mouths. So, hi, you're with so-and-so where? Police department? Okay, hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. Not on traffic stops, not on calls, not if your pants are literally being doused in gasoline and on fire, not if the wormwood is skyrocketing to the earth, about to wipe us all off. You should never talk to the police under any circumstances whatsoever. I don't care if you're the victim of a crime, and literally, this is just my opinion. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm not looking to get hemmed up. But I will tell you from personal experience, I don't put it past cops to arrest the offender of your crime and then take your information and look into you to charge you with something. I'm just saying.
Phone line.
So right off the bat, we know a few things. First off is that the viewer was called the day after the video. So it took some time for them to receive some complaints before the town of Lloyd called the state police to start an investigation on where all these phone calls were coming from. And mind you, this investigation is being started in lieu of having a lieutenant or chief call back one of the people who are concerned about the incident they saw.
And they're having issues with people who have actual emergencies, trying to call in emergencies to try to help them out. So I'm just trying to see if you might be able to assist me with that.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people
Trying
were
to see if you can assist me with that. I'm the police. I want to be your friend. I love this guy's answers. I don't know who this man is. This was a great troll, but fucking I love how he responds.
trying to express their grievances with our government about their piss poor handling of a certain situation.
And I understand your outrage and your concern, and obviously that's not why I'm calling. Essentially, my role in this is to try to free up their emergency line, so that way, if there is an emergency in the town of Lloyd, they're able to respond and send officers over there to assist and assess the situation.
Yeah, probably the best way for them to free up the phone lines is to, one, train their officers better, and two, maybe make a public statement and actually get rid of the problem police officer.
I understand.
That usually would probably settle that.
I personally agree. If the police would actually police their own, people would probably not call. There'd be no reason to. But it's what comes next on this phone call that is so disturbing.
Is there any insight that you can give me into, was there some sort of, how did you hear about the town of Lloyd Police Department?
From the incident that happened?
Well, yeah,
I'd have to go and look at which specific video it was, but...
Well, I understand that, but my question to you is there a group chat that everybody talks in, or how are you able to communicate?
What he can't do is he can't say, hey, did you get encouragement, or did Lackluster's YouTube channel, the guy who runs that, did he encourage you to call in now? Because you're not going to answer. It's a yes or no. That's a yes or no answer, right? Anytime you speak to the cops, or they talk to you, or lawyers, or depositions, you have to act on as if they already know the answer, right? And they're going to say, hey, what was the chain of events that led you to call the police department? Assume they already know. And what they're looking to do is they're looking to paint you into a corner by lying to them. Well, I just saw this. Well, that's not true, is it? Isn't it? We saw you comment over on Lackluster's video that you were going to call. Assume they know everything. Everything. Because instead of out doing real shit, they waste their time with this crap. And the easiest way I will tell you, if you're ever deposed, you're ever with law enforcement, and you feel compelled to open your mouth, ask them the question. Is there any reason that, you would be involved in X, Y, and Z? I don't know. If you have information on me being involved in X, Y, and Z, present that to me now, and I'll be more than happy to either confirm or deny it. But if you're going to ask me, let's assume you already have the information. You tell me what it is, and I will confirm or deny it. It's a game, and all it is they're fishing to get you to open your mouth.
And
just viral video.
Okay, and then just everybody started to call in. There was no chat or anything like that. There was
no,
nothing.
It was just I decided that I wanted to express my grievances. Like, no one told me to do it. No one hinted like, hey, do that. No, I just thought it was a piss poor performance and decided to express my grievance.
I totally understand, and that's why you're actually the first person I called, because they actually told me that you were very cordial and very respectful compared to everybody else who was calling. So
that's
awesome.
Why
I was calling you to see if you might be able to assist me a little bit with this, just to try to find out if there's anything else, if there was some sort of Discord chat or Instagram group.
You're giving him information.
I see what you're getting at, and no, there's not. It's just individual citizens seeing the same video, and that is horrible what they did.
How did you hear about the incident itself? I'm just curious, and the reason I'm asking is because the area code I'm not too familiar.
God, they do. They really are. They act as if you're stupid. Everything is designed. I don't really. It's your friend, right? They want to get your spidey sense down and throw you off the scent. And I put up not a documentary. I did a thing on Melissa Kaljuzinski, a video a couple days ago. Showed you my chief. She got her in for 9 hours. They know this toddler's dead. They don't have jack shit on anything. She didn't commit the murder at all, but they're bullying her for 9 hours. Hey, just tell, what do you think happened to the kid? They're looking for her to come up and say, I don't know, maybe this. Well, why would you say that would happen? It's a building block process. Hey, because once they ask you a question, they're going to build their next questions off of how you answered, right? Hey, was there a chat or anything? No. That's definitive, right? That's definitive. If you go, was there a chat? Oh, I didn't hear anything about a chat. Oh, was there anything you did hear anything about? Well, no. I mean, I was in the comments section. Did anybody in the comment section say anything? They're going to keep asking questions as long as you are stupid and you keep answering their questions.
With it, so it's not from around here.
I just saw it on YouTube.
Oh, really? Do you just follow Blackbuster then? You're
Fucking
just a fan of that page?
And there it is. This entire investigation is trying to figure out whether or not I'm telling people to call the town of Lloyd. The whole thing. This entire investigation, this use of your tax dollars, is centered on finding charges for me for reporting on them throwing a man on his face while he's in handcuffs. That's what this whole thing is about. But it gets worse because their whole problem is their own making in more ways than one. Not only did they throw somebody on their face, but we'll move forward.
Yeah, I've watched some of his videos. I've watched other videos also, and I was like, oh my god, what the heck just happened?
Okay, and then after that, they just post the information in the bottom of the comments, and then they just go and say, call this agency, essentially?
No, they don't. I think they post the Facebook page.
Right there, right there. And again, I don't know who this guy answering the phone is. Maybe he's trolling, maybe he knows this. But you hear what the cop said, right? Listen.
Essentially, that they just post the information.
It's like, oh my god, what the heck just happened?
Okay, and then after that, they just post the information in the bottom of the comments.
So he's asking, so is that what they do? They post the information in the bottom of the comments? You should say, I don't know. Do you need anything else? Am I being, do I have to stay on the phone with you? Am I being compelled? Is this a criminal investigation? If not, I appreciate your time. But you see what he says, and this is how he answers.
And then they just go and say, call this agency, essentially?
No, they don't. I think they post the Facebook page.
I think they post a Facebook page. Now the questions can go a different direction. Oh, well, what's on the Facebook page? You just gave him a new stream to flow his line of questioning down.
But I literally just looked up the town, went to their town website, found the non-emergency number, and called that.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Is there any way I might be able just to get your name?
No.
Some basic pedigree?
No.
Yeah, my name's Sid.
Sid? S-I-D?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your last name, sir?
I'd rather not.
Okay. That's fine. I appreciate your time. And
you gave him your he's got your number, and you gave him his name. Act as if they already have that. Stop talking to the police. This fucking cops makes my skin crawl.
Appreciate you taking the time to speak with me.
Yeah, but pretty much if you want those calls to stop, pretty much just tell them, hey, you might want to actually train your officers better, because...
And I can't speak on behalf of another police department.
Yeah. I'm just
why are you calling?
Saying that's my 2 cents on the problem.
Now, certainly this investigator has no control over the officer from the town of Lloyd. But the female troopers that were on scene were from the New York State Police. He could be spending his time investigating their response to the incident.
325 County, we have GMS, dispatch your location.
325, you in nature for the request.
Female state troopers, and 2 of them. What does that mean? It means that the cop who slammed him was showing off for him. That's all he was doing. It doesn't, you guys in handcuffs. He seemed impaired. 2 broads there. He's just flexing. That's it. So, again, more proof female cops are a danger to citizens.
And I totally respect your opinion and your 2 cents on it. It's what my role is in here is to make sure that the citizens who are going and are actually in need of police assistance are able to get through to get police officers to respond. That's what I'm trying to just make sure is kept open, because the last thing I would ever want is if somebody needs help, they're not able to get somebody there. And that's all. I'm not trying to cause any sort of issues or anything like that.
Yeah, my thought of that also is the people that are calling, they're calling the non-emergency line. You can probably try to screen them based on 911 people calling versus the non-emergency calling.
Okay, because I was under the impression that they were calling the emergency line, and that's what was dictated and directed.
It's a load of shit. He knows everything. They don't start any investigation with. You don't make a call. You don't make a fucking call without information. He already knows everything.
To me, and also that's what the dispatcher was explaining to some of the individuals calling up, that they were actually calling the emergency line.
Well, that's bad on whoever's doing that.
Okay, so you're saying on the Facebook page it says not emergency line.
See, he goes right back to the Facebook because you're still talking to him.
No, I have to check the Facebook page because I just found the name of the town and went to the like city page, like their government page, and then found the non-emergency number there. I'm not sure what number is on the Facebook page. I don't think there is a number on the Facebook page.
Okay, I'm only asking. I that's why I'm trying to find out, because I know that the number that they provided to me, they said that it was an emergency line. But if there's something that's showing contradictory on the Facebook page, that's something I will assess and address with them to notify them. Hey, this needs to be rectified.
No, he doesn't notify anybody. He's going to collect that as evidence, and he's going to use that to charge accordingly.
Now, so that way at least we can take care of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's actually on the Facebook page. I'm actually just looking at it right now.
Okay, you don't see a phone number on there?
Well, again, I'm looking at it right now. Okay, you don't see it on there? You gonna tell me the cop can't go and do his own research? Again, if he's doing this for content, awesome. Sid, great. I appreciate that. If you know there's not a damn thing you could do with me, I didn't do anything, I didn't break the law, blah, 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 and you're not doing this to get lackluster jammed up, clearly. I don't know if you did know this or not, but you're only on the phone with him still because you keep feeding him information and he keeps asking questions off of shit that he didn't have before.
Not that I can see.
What about in like the information section? I know sometimes they'll have some sort of number or something there.
Yeah, they have a number on the About page. Do you want me to get it to you?
Yeah, is that the number that you possibly called, or you were very confident that that was not the one?
I'm not sure. I'll have to check.
Okay.
I would give him like an 800 number.
Yeah, the number I called looked
for phone sex with.
No, the number I called is the
hot
same.
young Navy men.
It's the same number.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually the emergency line.
Oh,
that's something that. That's something that I'll have to address with them, because I'm looking.
All right, so not for nothing. If you're looking to jam him up, now you just gave him information for it, which the cop could have done on his own.
Looking at it too, it doesn't actually state that that's only for emergencies, that number.
Yeah, it doesn't say emergency or non-emergency on the Facebook page.
Yeah, I totally understand the confusion with that, and that's something that I'll address with them, and I'll see if they can rectify the issue. Are you there, sir?
Yeah. Also, the contact info on the town page is also, it's also the same number.
Really?
Yeah. It's the
redacted for obvious reasons
number.
Okay.
On the town page.
I will let them know, and I really do appreciate your assistance with helping me figure that out, because I couldn't wrap my head around that, because when they were telling me that, and I was like, well, most people.
God, is this technique still being fucking taught? Play stupid and hope that the bad guy gives you all the information. I hope Sid fed him a line of shit. Really.
Who do this type of thing, if they're expressing how upset they are, they're not going to go and call.
Yeah, we need the line to be kept open, because we want to serve the public. We really want to clear this up, and we're in the video of the two demons that tortured Melissa Kalizinski. You hear Sean, the damn Highland Park commander who's still on. He says, she goes, I don't want to go to jail. He goes, the last thing we would want is for you to go to jail. We don't want that. Okay, you don't want that, but you're looking to fucking charge her. They lie.
Yeah, because we understand that, like, we want to hold our government accountable, but we also don't want to endanger people.
Right.
So yeah, they probably really need to get a non-emergency number.
Okay. Well, I will address this with them, and hopefully that clears up some of the confusion.
Yeah.
And again, I can't thank you enough for being cordial and respectful.
Like, I just, honestly, one, it's also horrible what they did to him, and now taxpayers are going to have to pay the bill. But also, I don't hate bad cops.
I do.
I hate dirty cops. I hate tyrants.
Same thing.
I understand, and I totally am in the same. And you're going to say, "Oh, you're full of it." And believe me, I'm totally in agreement.
No, you sound genuine.
I don't.
That's
think
his job.
Anything that you're stating is
his job to fucking
wrong or anything.
His job is to sit there and soften you up so he can go right up your ass later. He's gonna tell you everything, baby. No, I'm not talking to any of the girls. No, you're the only one. You are so beautiful. I tell you, I couldn't stop thinking about you all day. That's what he's doing to you.
That aspect at all. What I'm just trying to do is my biggest concern is I just want to make sure that if somebody needs help, they're able to get there like I explained to you. But now that you've shown me this and explained it to me, I actually can work with this and I could try to come up with some sort of, I don't want to say end all.
Thank God in the chat. Resting peace is saying Sid is lackluster. Thank fucking God, dude. If that's the case and he knows better, then he is trolling. Woof!
Solution, but it'll be a little bit better so that way they can do a little bit better with filtering out the calls as well.
See, well, it's lackluster. He knows what he's doing, but sadly, how many people don't? How many people don't? This call is so common to people who just want to help the police. The more you watch lackluster stuff, the more you watch my stuff, you will learn, don't fucking talk to the police ever.
Yeah. So I'll take care of this. The only thing I would ask is if you, and again, the reason why I'm saying this, I don't know if, I know you watched the video. I know Lackluster seems to be very popular on YouTube, and that video itself has completely gone viral at this point. And I looked at it last night. It was at 60,000 views. Now it's at almost 2 million or something, if I'm not mistaken. But it's last time I checked, it was at like 1.6 or 1.7 million.
No, I think you got it wrong. It's it's not million, it's thousand.
Oh, I thought it was more than that.
I don't think so. I think it's... Yeah, it's K, not M.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's something I'll address with them. I'll notify them, hey, this needs to be rectified because it is not rectified on their Facebook page, and that the town offices themselves, and I'll take care of that. Because that, I know it sounds silly, and for whatever reason, I can't really explain what they're thinking with that. But that is
probably just someone wasn't thinking, just like, oh, here's a number, type it in.
Yeah, so I'll work on that. I'll see if they can rectify the issue, and obviously I appreciate you being respectful and cordial and just helping walk me through that, just how everybody's getting in touch with everything. So I appreciate it, sir.
Yeah.
All right, well, enjoy your night, okay?
Yeah, you have a lovely day.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So essentially, the town of Lloyd put their emergency phone number all over the internet with no indication that it's an emergency phone number, and then called the state police to investigate me because other people are calling an emergency phone number that I never posted. Pretty awesome. Guys asking about Discord, group chats. It's all linked in the description. Did you go to the video? Did you look?
Yes, they did.
At all?
They
did you
all
do
their
any
research.
sort of investigation before making phone calls?
Yeah, they did. They all did it, and it blows me away. They're going to try to string him up for what? Like inciting a concern? Blows me away.
I don't think you did. Regardless, join the Discord. Bro, this blows me away, man. I know of multiple YouTubers who have caught charges for doing that. I'm not going to do that. People can do it on their own. I have nothing to do with it. I'm just reporting what you assholes do.
Keep doing it.
That's it.
Keep doing it. He's one of the best out there. I had the privilege of interviewing him last year. Guy's a class act, and he should be pissed at how shit goes with our government. It's absolutely ridiculous. And no, you don't tell people to call in. I told people today to contact the county sheriff, and I said this, contact the county sheriff on their Facebook page. Go there and comment in the comment section and talk to them below. I 100% think you should be doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's so ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So that's it. I got to take a couple calls. Bottom line, don't talk to the police. It's just as simple as that. Do not talk to the police. Fish only get caught when their mouths are open. All right, let me take a couple more calls here. Where you guys at?
Hello.
Hey, sorry I missed your call. We're still live. What's going on?
Oh, I was just wondering. You mentioned Wormwood. Are you familiar with Tom Horn?
With who?
His name's Tom Horn, Horn. He's you should check him out, Dominic, because if you're interested at all in Wormwood, he lays it out. It's just it's crazy. It's all biblical, and I don't know if you're a Christian or not.
Yeah, I
highly recommend that. But listen, I'm watching the show live now. I got it turned off, and there's a clip of the woman cop, and she's leaning down dealing with a guy, but the camera doesn't show it. She's got a flashlight in her left hand. Mm-hmm. I'll bet you $1 million she did a sternum rub on the guy, and she got no response.
Sure.
She stands back up and shrugs because she didn't get no response.
Yeah, they don't know shit. Yeah.
She's like, this guy is done for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, man, you got a great show, and so many people are appreciative of it.
Thank you.
I don't know what they think they're going to do with it. Imagine them going after Lackluster. I mean, come on, man.
There's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do, and it would just be. So, I have active like daydreams thinking about shit. Like, I was listening to somebody who was being interviewed for false imprisonment for their role in January 6th. And whatever they did, right? It's just not. And I have to wonder, you take someone like Lackluster, and if he's politically prosecuted, because that's what it would be. It would be the government's manufacturing of criminal charges to silence somebody. And this is my question. This is my question. So if we know it's not true, if we know that it's a complete sham, if we know that it's illegal, I don't know what it's going to take for Americans to have 50 or 500 patriots outside of the jail where he's held saying, I'm sorry, we're going to war with you, prison guards, police, government, because you're keeping somebody in prison illegally. Well, we got to wait for the court system. You got to do this. No, you've manufactured evidence. It's proven. So I don't know what it's going to take because I don't know.
I know what it'll take. I don't know how to do it.
No,
what it'll take is you, me, and the people watching your show. People watch Lackluster. There's 320 plus million people in this country. 1% at best watch these videos that we do. We've got to get these in front of more people's eyes.
You need to get more cops seeing this shit and saying, and I don't care if somebody voted for him or didn't. I don't care whether somebody likes him or not, but Trump, when Trump was arrested in New York and he was processed, I didn't agree with how that came to be. And I condemned every cop there, the ones who fingerprinted him, the ones who sat there and stood by. Every cop should have sat there and said, we are not a part of this and we will not enforce this. Let him go now. And that should happen for every time they know there is a manufacturing of criminal evidence. Oh, yeah, I just got to do whatever, man. You got to go through the system. Because that's the importance of police officers. I've said it before. If cops had all stood together in solidarity nationwide and said, we're not enforcing these lockdown mandates, country wouldn't have been locked down. They are the fear of police interaction is the only reason that people wind up complying with shit. But I appreciate your call, man.
Well, just one more thing. The police in this country could be the most admired, respected, and loved people, and all they have to do is obey the law.
Sure. Constitution, that's it.
That's simple.
Yeah.
People would love them.
Yep.
Instead, they hate them for good reason.
Yeah.
Well, God bless you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Dylan Mott's over on the chat. If you're able to take constitutional rights from somebody, you should feel 10 times the threat from us than we feel from you. For the people, by the people. 100%. I am very much, if a cop is charged federally and convicted of violating someone's civil rights and it's proven he willfully did it, he should be hung for it should be capital punishment for treason. 100%. There's no question in my mind. Get another couple calls here.
Oh,
hey, you're live. What's going on?
Hey, excellent. Good to hear from you.
Good. What do you got, man?
Well, I don't know if you saw me in the chat there. I'm Rogue Nation Audits. I'm an auditor from Florida.
What's your YouTube channel?
Rogue Nation Audits.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, I was just in the chat, and I'm a government accountability guy along the same lines as Sean Paul, who's a friend of mine, and Jeff Gray, who's also a friend of mine. And one of the biggest problems that I see, I've probably done more audits than anybody out there. I've got about 1,800 audits under my belt in 15 states. But one of the biggest problems I see is education. And so recently I've seen, gone ahead and tried to address that by putting together some children's books on some of the topics that the government's not teaching us in school. I'm a homeschooler as well. I have 2 girls. And, some of the topics that they're not teaching in school, psychology, civics, economics, even the misinterpreted history that they're giving us, all to provide us a narrative to obey authority from an early age and don't question. If you have an issue, don't question anybody. The authorities, the people in charge, and you should listen to them. And the same thing. Go take it up on the road, take it up in court. But really, when you look at the system, you're looking at a system that's going to say, okay, well, this officer gave me the ticket, and he's going to see the judge that he sees every week from writing these tickets, and they're kind of buddies. They talk every once in a while, and now you're entrusting the judge to obey the law himself, if he even knows it, because there's plenty of judges out there that interpret the law the wrong way, which is why we have an appeal system in America, because they realize the judges are going to get it wrong. And I'll give you a perfect example. I was arrested a few years ago recording a prison in Georgia, and they slapped me with a charge called loitering near inmates. It was a 100-year-old charge that they had never charged anybody with in the existence of the law. It's a felony, and then they gave me 3 years of probation on it for a felony. And I took it to the Georgia Supreme Court, and the Georgia Supreme Court backed what the trial court said. So now I have to take it, habeas corpus, to the federal level just to get some justice. And all I was doing was standing in a parking lot that was open to the public. I mean, the public road was 20 feet from me. And what's even crazier, when I went to court, I had the public defender. Okay, the public defender's office is next door to the prison that I was arrested at. In my public defender's office, I was technically closer to inmates than when I was standing in front of the prison recording, because the way the building is set up with the fencing, the administration part of the building first, and inmates kept all the way in the back. So technically I was loitering closer to inmates when I was having a conference with my public defender, and I brought that up to her as well, technically. But it's a messed up system.
I keep telling you guys, listen, I respect what you do, but if you're going to dip your toe in the water, you're going to get wet. These laws are designed to fuck with you any way possible. It's like, yeah, I understand it. It's a bullshit charge. It's still a charge. And when you guys do this auditor stuff, I appreciate that, but man, you're taking a risk every time you do it. It's going to happen. So now you got a felony on your record for bullshit, but you still got a felony on your record.
That's right. And I got to be honest with you. I have no qualms with being the tip of the spear, right? Men have died for our rights. Me, being on probation for 3 years is a hindrance to the family. Absolutely. There's no denying it. But the problem we have in America is that people, because of the conditioning brought upon us in school, don't think that there's an issue with law enforcement.
There is, and I'm gonna push back a little bit. Okay, how old are you, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm 52.
We're the same age. I'm 50, you're 52. You grew up, I bet, with obedience, and you didn't question, did you?
No, actually I did. I bucked authority from a young age. I unfortunately went into prison at 18. Okay. I was into, drugs. I was into the counterculture, rage against the machine.
I respect that. And I didn't go that route. I did. If you didn't do what you were told, you got your ass beat by my mother, right? My father never laid a hand on us. I went to Catholic grammar school. You didn't question that I only had 2 nuns, but you didn't question teachers 1st through 8th grade. When I went to public grammar school, it was public high school, it was a free-for-all. I'd never experienced kids talking back to teachers. And this was the late 80s, 89, right? And I'd never experienced disorder, kids not showing up to class. There was no discipline. Fast forward now, in 2015, I went to field training, FTO school, to learn how to train other cops. The very first thing out of the instructor's mouth when he got in there, and there's like 40 of us in the class, he goes, "Get out of your vocabulary because I said so." And he went on to explain, the kids today who are becoming cops, you could be in a gunfight and say, "Get behind the engine block for cover." And the kid is going to say, "Why?" And you can't say, "Because I said so," because the next day you're going to find yourself in chief's office because he's bitching a grievance about you for bullying him. So there has to be a middle ground, because I did what I never argued with my teachers, never questioned. If I questioned, it was respectfully and polite, never questioned my bosses. I'm a fucking phenomenal employee. You want something done, I'm going to do it. But there has to be a middle ground of properly and respectfully questioning, because now what you get, I haven't seen any of your videos. I just subscribed to your channel. We just had it up. I don't know just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I'll wrap this up in a second. We created a bunch of people who I think that it's invaluable what the First Amendment auditors do. I think it's insane. It opens up my eyes. It shows a massive problem we have in America. It shows tyranny. You have the Sean Paul Reyes's who go on scene and they're very polite. Nothing he does, I disagree with. You have Chili DeCastro, who has every lawful right to do what he does, but he's a piece of shit with how he does it. The problem I have is when and I don't know how you are in your videos, I don't know how you audit anything. When you're a more Chili DeCastro, they're going to look for everything to throw the book at you for. It's the game. It's the gamble you took. And I guess my ultimate point is, I would rather see more Sean Pauls out there saying, "Hey, listen, this is my constitutional right. I appreciate this. I'd love to have a dialogue with you, but respectfully. I don't want to see the people who are just fighting the power, man. These pigs, man." It serves no production although warranted, it serves no production for society. So I want to give a little pushback with question, but time and place. Learn to do it right, because we do have a generation of people who come in now who are thinking they can question everything. No, you can't. Sometimes if I fucking said so is the answer, it's the answer. So I want to give a little bit of pushback because we're now in this place where we do have way too many problems. And those people too, who question everything without respect for authority, they're cops too. So you don't think they're going to have a problem with you? So I do. I disagree with a little bit because those are the kids that grew up that I policed as kids who were out of control. They became criminals. They had no respect for their parents, no respect for teachers, no respect for people. They got hooked several times. There has to be structure, discipline, and there has to be a hierarchy. And sometimes you need to shut the fuck up and know your place.
And I agree wholeheartedly with that. I mean, you actually learn more by shutting up and listening than you do by opening your mouth, and more people should adhere to that. But again, to me, the problem stems all from education, right? Because let's say your example of telling a person to get behind the engine block when shots start going overhead. Me and you would think and say, hey, that seems like common sense, right?
Common sense isn't common. Yes.
Exactly. And the part of that reason is because in our schooling, and the reason I'm so passionate about this, again, is because we homeschool. But before we decided to homeschool, and I'm a product of public school, so I know the product that factory puts out. Right. I'm well aware of the product that the public school system puts out because I myself am that product. So before I decided to send my kids there, which, in my awakened state, it baffles me that anybody would send their kids to the state because the state can't do anything right. And we know it. So it baffles me that people send their kids to the state. But what's happening is they're not teaching our kids how to think. They're teaching them what to think.
No, 100%. I get that. My niece graduated from the same Catholic grammar school that her mother did, my sister, her aunt did, my sister, and I did. So there's 4 generations of us there. And I looked at her teacher. Her teacher was 23 years old. And I was like, the hell do you know about life? But yeah, I get it. I understand what you're talking about. We promoted your channel. I wish you the best, and hopefully you got some good content coming up. And I hope that if you take your case all the way to the Supreme Court, that bullshit gets overturned.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. And great talking with you. And for my channel, if you want to watch, look at the older videos. That's my stuff. Like I said, I've been on probation. I haven't really been able to get out on the street to do my work. But I think you'll be pleasantly surprised along those same lines as Sean Paul, who again is a friend of mine, and Jeff Gray from Honor Your Oath. If you know him, he's also a real good friend of mine. And I'm do the same style as them. I'm pretty knowledgeable on the law, and I like doing what I do. So
yeah, the channel is Rogue Nation Audits. We got it pulled up again. Rogue Nation Audits over on YouTube.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of the guys in the chat know me.
Good. All right.
Thanks again, buddy.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll take one more. We'll close out tonight. Guys, I appreciate this. We're live every Friday. Hang on. We're live every Friday. Already got that. Never mind. I called you by accident. And 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. Do the rest of the math. Make sure you share our content. Go ahead and support us. Click a link, buy me a coffee, and help the channel grow.
Dominic.
Did I call you yet or no?
No.
I appreciate your patience. Thank you so much. We'll close out tonight with you. What's going on?
Well, you posted the picture of that kid that looked like he was 5 who became a sheriff. And I posted on your post because of that. So I'm 55 years old. I was a Marine. I was a lineman for 20 years. And I ended up going to a Citizens Academy at the sheriff's office. And I kind of got interested in it because I felt like I had more serving to do. So I looked into the academy, everything. I passed the background, passed the physical, passed the psychological, got accepted. And then the sheriff told me he'd never hire me because I have tattoos on my hands that wouldn't look good in a Class A uniform. And I looked at him and I said, are you literally telling a warrior that he's not good enough because of the tattoos on his hands? And he just stared at me and I go, I got news for you. You've got
obese, disgusting deputies that are busting out of their uniforms, and you're worried about tattoos on hands. So they don't care what they're putting out on the streets, honestly.
No, they do not.
It's disgusting.
What they care about is your level of compliance, and somebody like you would challenge them and be a pain in their, be a thorn in their side, right? Because you wouldn't be a yes man. That's why they don't like people. Cops will not hire people who are a threat to them.
And that's basically what it boils down to. I knew that as soon as he said it. I told my wife, I said, he doesn't want to hire me because he knows I'll speak my mind. And they want total little soldiers who will jump and ask how high when they say to jump and all that good stuff. They just want little soldiers that will say, yes, sir, I'll do that.
Yeah, it blows me away. I mean, maybe it was a blessing that you didn't get to go that route. So you didn't.
It could be. You know, it's just that I felt like I served in the military. I served as the public as a lineman. I felt like I had more serving to do, so I thought I'd give it a try. But you know what? They reap what they sow.
Yeah, it sucks because that's the route it's going. So you're right. I mean, I appreciate it, and thanks. I mean, thanks for the call. Thanks, thanks for being patient too. Thanks for letting me call you back.
No, brothers, keep it up,
guys. That's Friday. I know a lot more of you guys called. We will go, 2 hours next Friday if I can. I appreciate the support. We have a lot to do, and the channel needs to keep going. I didn't realize the epidemic of problems that are out there. I'm a one-man crew right now, and your support helps. The ways that you can keep this channel going are to share the videos, subscribe if you're new, click the bell for notifications next to the subscribe button so you can see when news. I get all the time, I didn't know you released a new video. Hit that bell. You can support the channel by one of the links below in the description. You could buy me a coffee. You could join our Patreon. You could buy my book. There's many ways to support, but your sponsorship and your support will keep this going. And for everybody who has emailed me and texted me, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best to get back to you guys. I get probably 200 calls and emails a week, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So eventually I have to wind up getting some help. And maybe we could talk about that if you're in the Patreon group. For those who do want to volunteer and actually help me do some of this work, would be great. Other than that, guys, please be safe out there. Share the content. And I will see you next Friday live, but make sure you subscribe to Cop Talk Live. Go to coptalklive.org and then back up our buddy Mike from Copville, and make sure you go to Copville over on YouTube and subscribe to his channel.